This is my garden. It's about 40 feet wide, 50 feet long. I've lived here 38 years and I've had a garden every year. I still enjoy it. It's springtime now and time to plant. We have an ideal climate in Georgia for growing vegetables. If we get plenty of sunshine and water, I believe that the key to healthy eating is growing our own produce. One of my favorite things to grow is tomatoes. You don't have to have as much space as I do to grow tomatoes, a flower bed, a 4 by 6 foot area in the backyard, or even in 1 gallon pot. When you had a fresh grown tomato, it's real hard to go back to those you get from the grocery store. What you and I really want is fresh, delicious, juicy tomatoes. So as you can put a slice on your sandwich, make a BLT, or a fresh salad in the summer. Not to mention saving money on grocery bills. One advantage of having homegrown tomatoes is you can share them with your friends and your customers. I took some tomatoes to one of my customers in downtown Atlanta one day, and I walked in, he wasn't there. So his boss was there, so I took the tomatoes in. I said, "John's not here today. I brought him these tomatoes, so would you like to have them?" The boss said, "Well, I sure would." Said, "I'm not above playing second fiddle to get a bag of homegrown tomatoes." From year to year, I have learned from my mistakes and picked up growing techniques from others. For instance, a common problem is blossom end rot, a condition where the growing tomato turns brown on the end opposite the stem. It grows with the tomato and makes it inedible. I learned that this can be overcome by adding lime to the soil. My experience of growing tomatoes over the years has produced a plan or procedure that works every year. Whether you are a beginner or experienced or an organic gardener, you probably have one or more of these frustrations. Something is going wrong and the plants just aren't producing. Diseases, lack of sunlight, pests, poor soil, and learning later what you could have done to improve the results significantly. Even though people ask me how I grow them every year, I never really taught a class about growing tomatoes, but now I finally decided to teach this class because I want others to experience the same joy that I have. And I love helping families by producing good food right out of their own garden. That's why I put together a training program on how to grow the very best tomatoes year after year. Now this is squash and that's pepper in front of the tomatoes, and of course that's the tomatoes there. If you want to get a picture from here, or you want to...
Yeah, those are really tall. How tall are those tomato plants?
About 8 feet.
8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's that one right there. You can really see a lot of ripe tomatoes on that vine there.
Yeah. On this page, there's a place to subscribe. When you subscribe, I'll send you the details of the homegrown tomato class that will be starting in a few days.